This is a question that most business owners fail to get right. And if you fail to get it right, it could be costing you weeks or months of your business moving in the completely wrong direction. When you're rolling out a new process or idea to improve the business, how do you know when it's just a few tweaks away from getting it right? And then how do you know when to kill it completely and move on to something new? We've spent the last 2 weeks dialing hundreds of leads every single day, and for the most part, the process had legs and just needed some tweaks for it to really start to take off. But we decided to kill it completely and move on to something new. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how we made that decision. And if you're asking yourself the same questions in your business, by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to answer it. So you're only working on things that are serving the business and you're not wasting time on things that are not. Now, before we get into it, if you like this video, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to me, and it shows YouTube that this is valuable content for other business owners just like yourself, and we roll out a new episode every single week so you can continue to get this valuable content. So on last week's video, I broke down that we had a software bug that was preventing people from signing up and paying for our platform no matter how much they wanted to. So when we fixed it, I decided let's double down on the sales process. Clearly, a lot of people already want this offer, but it's just the bug that's preventing them from signing up. So let me go and catch up on all of those sales that we've lost, as well as converting all of these new leads. And I spent the next week dialing as many people as possible, and it was about a 10 to 15 minute call. I'd identify that they wanted the problem solved. I'd basically break down the 3-step offer. They'd say they were keen to do it. I'd confirm the price, and then I just send them the link and let them figure it out by themselves. I didn't have a formal sales process, and I really wasn't trying to hard close these people. And ultimately, we ran into the same problem. We had a couple of people take the offer and sign up, but for the most part, people weren't converting on the back end. So I was faced with a decision. Do I want to roll out a formal sales process here that I know that I can get these people to sign up, or do we kill the process completely and move on to something new? I decided on the latter. This is how we came up with the answer. Number one, is optimizing this process going to serve the long-term interests of the business? And for us, immediately, this is a clear no. And let me break it down to you. We have a 3-step process. Number one, they use our service to improve their credit. Number two, we work with them manually to get them ready to get into a home. And then number three, we connect them with a lender that's going to be able to do that. Now, number two and number three are already going to be quite high human touch point areas of the business. So would we want to completely dial in a human touch point area on step one? No. We knew that we were going to have to put bodies in to get us to be optimizing steps 2 and steps 3. So could we formalize this process? Yes, but is it going to serve the long-term objectives of the business? No. So that was the first question that we had to answer for ourselves. We decided to completely bin it because we knew that we needed to automate fully step 1 so that we can then spend the time that we need with our client to ultimately get them to buy a home, which is the ultimate objective of the business. That means that we had to throw away short-term cash flow. But that is going to mean that the objectives of the business long-term are going to be where we need them to be. The second thing, if you're asking yourself this question, is you need to pull apart the funnel to identify the data. Quite often, I see people not getting the metric that they need on the back end of the funnel. Maybe it's cost per lead, cost per acquisition, whatever. And they're not pulling apart the steps to identify whether everything is broken or whether it's just 1 or 2 things that need tweaking. If you don't know your data, you're not going to know what to do next. So we had to pull apart all of our funnel and identify, okay, the ads are working well. People are taking the offer on the website and they're actually getting to the next step. They're creating accounts. Really, there's just 1 or 2 final steps here that need tweaking. And we were trying to solve that problem with sales. But we figured, well, what if we were just able to make those small tweaks in the funnel with an automated process that is going to serve the objectives of the business, but also completely remove the human touch point? Now, we decided that it makes more sense for us to go in that direction, but we only were able to know that by pulling apart the funnel and identifying the data in every single step along the way. So pull apart the data of whatever it is you're trying to optimize, understand what the numbers are, and then you can see whether it's just 1 or 2 little tweaks away or whether really everything is fundamentally broken and you need to move in a different direction. And here's the hardest part. Step 3 is thinking long-term and not short-term. We knew that for us ourselves, we wanted to get people into homes. We didn't want to sell them into our $50 a month product. That part has to be automated, and ultimately we want to get them into homes. So with our resources, we want to spend them getting people into homes and not sell them on the $50 a month product. So that meant that we decided to bin the sales process and automate the front end, and then we could spend that intention and energy on the back end because now we were freed up from taking all of those minutes away from dialing people, and then we can actually move forward with what we really wanted to do. So there's 3 elements that you need to think about if you're facing that same question in your business. Number one, what's the macro objective of the business? And is this little optimization really making sense to serve the entire long-term vision? If it is, keep working on it. Number two, pull apart the data that you have and identify every single step. Is there just one or two little things that were going wrong that you needed to optimize? Or is every step fundamentally broken and it makes more sense to just completely try something new? Number three, think long-term, not short-term. Our vision is based on selling people into homes, not selling them into a $50 a month product. So putting all of our energy and attention and resources into selling them the $50 a month product ultimately meant that we were not thinking about the long-term objectives of the business. So we decided to bin the sales process and launch direct ads to our website to have them fully sign up with as little steps as possible. And for the most part, it worked. We got 3 automated sales in 3 days versus the 3 that we were getting with all of the manual inputs and sales calls and everything else with the longer term funnel. So we knew immediately this is the way to go. We have to automate this process. And now it makes sense to optimize and tweak the automated sign-up process because it ultimately serves the objectives of the business. Now this has started to free up our time to roll out content strategies and email marketing and other things that allow us to get more balls in the air versus specifically focusing on getting one that wasn't going to serve us. Now I wanted to break down how I'm using AI to help me get to these decisions a lot faster and how you should be implementing it as well. If you haven't gotten on Claude Code yet, you need to. And I'm going to break down in a few simple steps how I was able to get myself on Claude Code, start vibe coding, and actually start solving some real problems for me as an operator. I think one of the first things that happens when people come into Claude Code is they ask themselves, well, where do I start? Well, if you're a product person, you're going to have a bunch of ideas you want to roll out, and you're going to have all of this creative side of things that you're just going to be like, yep, I know exactly what I need to do. But if you're an operator like me, you fundamentally need to start with the problems that you're trying to solve. So what pain points are getting caused in your day-to-day operations? Because I can almost guarantee you that there is a way that you can create a little tool. It's not going to be something crazy, but it's just going to be a little niche tool that's going to help you solve a lot of these problems. So for me, that was tracking data. Clearly, I'm in a very big stage of tracking a lot of data right now, and I'm a big Google Sheets person where I'm going to grab all of this data, but what it meant was that I was manually creating these sheets and tweaking them and optimize them, and I was spending a lot of time just making new sheets versus actually focusing on what the data was doing and getting myself to where I needed to be. So how did I fix it? Well, number one, if you watch my previous videos, you know that I love to use AI employees in chat format and in project format. So what did I do? I created an AI employee that was going to be an expert in helping me optimize my output with AI. So I simply started voice noting it what my problems and concerns were, and it broke down a really, really clear prompt that I could basically just plug into Claude Code. The first thing that I was concerned about when it came to Claude Code is how do I even set this thing up? So having that AI chat just allowed me to overcome and understand exactly what needed to happen. When you're going to install and start setting up Claude Code, it's going to ask you to install things on your terminal, and I didn't even know what a terminal was. But the AI employee was able to walk me through every single step. And once you get past the first hour of setting this thing up, then it's going to be fully good to go, and it's just going to be activating and you can use like a normal chat. So after I was able to help my AI employee was able to help me get this fully set up, then I voice noted all of my problems into it, and it gave me a really, really detailed prompt that was in code chat that I then plugged into Claude Code. Pretty much, it was going to start building me a dashboard that was going to solve the exact problems that I explained. Now, in about an hour, it was there and it was functional. I had a dashboard that was going to be a dynamic tracking platform where I could track all of my projects, I could track all of my funnels, all of the different tests that I was doing across my funnels in one clean place. Now, once you have it, it's as simple as just saying, yep, this needs to be changed, this needs to be tweaked. But what I would recommend is using an AI employee to basically help you prompt out that initial stage. And when you have a massive overhaul that you want to make, then you can just verbalize exactly what needs to happen and it will put it into a prompt. But for the most part, once you get that dashboard set up, then you can pretty much just say, yep, we need to change this, we need to change this. What I'd recommend is just getting started as soon as possible, getting past that first hour of getting it set up. And then once you have that first framework, start using it. Start basically inputting the data and you'll quickly see, okay, this is broken, this is broken, this is broken. What you'll understand is that it's super, super simple to use once you just get past that first hump. And that is a kind of a mindset shift you need to take into it, right? I'm going to use AI right now to help me get this AI working for me versus I think what a lot of people might experience when they get into Claude Code is, I don't even know how to set this thing up. This thing's not even working and it's not working. It's asking me for all these permissions for this different things. Get an AI helping you use AI more, right? Because once you get it set up, it's going to really, really quickly become your best friend. What I'm experiencing is that for $20 or $100 a month, if you're basically using a lot of it, it's going to be one of the most functional things that you could possibly imagine. It can save you thousands of dollars on employees just for basically helping you overcome all these tasks. Because right now, I'm serving so many functions inside of the business that I would otherwise have to hire someone for, but I can ultimately just do it myself while leveraging AI. So if you haven't gone onto Claude Code yet, I would highly recommend just beginning because it's only going to become more sophisticated and more advanced, and it's going to help you solve a couple of your biggest pain points right now. And then once you have that one, what you'll see is that your brain just starts lighting up with, oh, well, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But just focus on solving that big problem that you're having right now. And then once you get it fully dialed in, you're going to know how to basically vibe code, how to basically build out other features. And right now, I've gotten my dashboard to the point where yep, all of the tracking is dialed in, and there's all of these other features that I'm going to break down in future episodes that I'm starting to use just because I've realized how it works. And finally, a lesson that I wanted to share that I've learned this week is you can't get emotionally attached to the things that are going on inside your business. What I mean by that is quite often we can spend weeks working on something and putting in sweat equity. And when you basically can't detach your emotions from the investment that you've already made from the personal time that you put into something, what it's going to mean is that you just continue moving in the wrong direction because you're not willing to let something go, right? What this is simply sunk cost fallacy. If you're not able to just let something go that's already been invested time in, that's clearly not working, and the data's saying that it's not working, you're going to just continue working on something that's not going to serve you. It's so much better to just remove your emotions from the situation and say, hey, yep, I did put a lot of time into that, but ultimately it's not working. The data's saying that it's actually not working, and we need to let it go completely. I remember a couple of months ago on a different project, I spent about 3 weeks completely overhauling something that I thought was going to be the best move to tweak on the funnel. And in 2 days, it completely tanked our sales, and I decided that, okay, I've been really excited to launch this, but I just completely have to throw it away. So you have to detach your emotion from the work that you're doing. The work is just the work. The emotion should be attached to the vision and the purpose and the ultimate project that you're pursuing, but the work is just the little nuances that are going to get you there. If you get too attached to the work, you're fundamentally going to get too attached to the input that you've created versus the outcomes you're generating. So quite often it's easier to just throw something away than just continue to try to optimize it because you spent a lot of time on it already. That time is already gone, and it's going to be way better served you just binning it and moving on to something new. So that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you found value out of it, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll be back with another episode next week. I'm going to break down exactly what's happened as you continue to dial in the automated step 1 of the home qualifiers process.